Hey guys, been a while, I can only apologise. So on this job today, I've been booked in for 2 days and we've got an interesting one for you, and I'm going to show you how I go about getting over the top of it. So if we just... So what we had here, we had 2 downpipes coming straight into the unit. Obviously the upstand was butted up to the pipes previously, and then the client changed their mind and wanted the pipes behind the wall. So what we got to do, we've got to bring this forward nice and flush, stick it in, and obviously repair these 2 holes. And then once I've stuck the piece in, let that go off properly, we will then colour match it, detail, blend it in as if it never occurred. So that's what we got to do. And I've got 2 of these, and this is the piece I've cut already. So it's just a bit of MDF board, and that slots right in there nicely. And then I'm going to use a bit of like a poly grip type product. Off the top of my head, I think it's called Sticks Like Shit, Evo stick. So just pop that in there, get it all nice and level. There's a slight, so I've got to bring it forward ever so slightly to come level because it's at an angle. But yeah, so that's, we've got to stick that in, and then once that's stuck, obviously we're repairing the 2 holes as well and blending that in. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. It'll take a while putting all the detail back in, but I'm in a warehouse environment, pretty decent sized warehouse. So we've got the males and the females. Just quickly go in here and show you. We've got the same in here, and again, got exactly the same. We've got our board as well, which I've already cut, ready to go. And look at that, look, where it's been cut out, it's been cut on the piss. So it looks terrible. But we'll be able to straighten that out anyway, obviously with the fill. So again, exactly the same process as next door. Sticking it back in, and what I've done, I've removed all the mastic that was around here, and I've scored it like plasterers do when they score the walls and a dry lining. I've done exactly the same thing, so it gives me a bed to stick to, helps with adhesion. So once we got that stuck in, we're gonna get cracking. So yeah, I'll keep you posted. Hey guys, as promised, each stage I'm going to do a little video for you. When it comes to the detail work, i.e. drawing the grain in, painting the grain in, etc., I'm going to do a time-lapse video on that one. But for the purpose of this repair, I'm going to record each stage where I'm at, as opposed to me physically doing it, and let you know what I'm doing. So what we have, everything stuck. So it's all solid, nice and solid all the way around. And what I've done, I've masked up the area, and then obviously I've masked up around the holes. Now, what I'm going to now do is I'm going to use that lovely colour stuff. So it's basically glass fibre fill resin, and I'm going to pack it along here and then flush that off with the top of this. So we've got a nice curved step, just push it into the gaps. Not going to worry about too much with regards to the profile and how uniform it is. Obviously I'm going to squeeze it in there and level it off as best as possible. We're going to use a finishing filler to go over the top and create a nice smooth flat edge. Same goes for down here. And then the fiberglass is basically going to be packed into these holes, and it's going to it goes off like concrete basically. And the chemical reaction glass, if you notice, if you use fiberglass before, there's a chemical reaction, makes it go really hot. So not really hot to the point it burns, but it goes really warm. It's like, okay. So we're going to put that in the holes, and then whilst that's still warm, obviously the warming procedure is the curing stage. I'm going to obviously let it cure properly and then go over the top with the filler. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm going to put the resin in and let that dry off, and then we've got the same in the ladies' toilets as well. Hey guys, right, now we've got step 3. So as what I said in the previous video, I've said I've glass fibre filled the gaps, pumped it into the holes basically, so then it bridges up. So I've got a nice level to fill to, so we're not just packing out with 2-pack filler, because after a while, especially in the area, this is a wet area, people washing their hands, sinks and chemicals, etc., it will crack the filler at some point. If you're just going to use just straight up filler, I wouldn't advise it, to be honest with you. It will fail at some point, hence the glass fibre fill goes off solid, gives it a good base. So yeah, so the stage I'm at now, I've using, on this occasion, rather than using our yellow 2-part finishing filler, using a different finishing filler, which is a white, a MIPA or MIPA, however you want to say that, spelled M-I-P-A. Using that, I'm using this one because it gives me a good colour base if I wasn't going to prime it. but because it's MDF, I'm going to prime it anyway. But also, it goes off really quick. So that's where I'm at now. See, we've got the holes all nice and level now. Just left it sitting a little bit proud so then I can get it nice and flat. Same here. We're going to have a nice flat finish once that's flattened back and sanded down. And again at the top, not too worried about that step there because that will just flatten out and we can profile it easily. So once that's sanded down, we can go over it with the primer. And I'll just quickly show you the ladies. So and then we got the same in the ladies. Pretty much exactly the same. The holes are nice and flush now. Obviously, we've got to sand all this down, flatten it off and profile it. But once that's done, we move on to the primer. And I'm going to use a light grey primer, which will give me a good base to carry all that detail out. Obviously, they're vertical lines. If we're doing horizontal, it doesn't matter either way. It's the same colour panel. But yeah, and what I've already done yesterday, basically pre-mixed my colours. So in this pot, I've got my light grain. Not that you can exactly see that. Written in pencil. That's all I had on me at the time. And then I've got my darker grain here. Now what I can do is, because I would say there's about 3 tones of colour going through that. I can use these 2 tones. So I've got my light and my dark. So I can draw them through and then I can mix the 2 together to make a shade in between the 2 shades that I've created. So then we've got a good uniform finish. So yeah, so we're going to rub the white filler down, get it all nice and flush. Then we're going to prime it, allow the primer to dry properly. Should take anything between 20 to 30 minutes to properly dry before I then just give it a little tickle, clean off, and then we can start doing the detail work. Right guys, we're now on stage 4. So primer's done. This is the male's toilet. Primer's then done on this one, but it's still a little bit tacky, so I'm not going to rub it down just yet. I'm going to give it maybe at least another 10 minutes, but that gives me a chance to start on the ladies' side, in the ladies' toilets. I haven't put the primer down on the top itself, purely because we've just got I'd class them as little, just touching areas here. That won't take long to sort out. This is going to be where the bulk of the paint is going to be, so I need something more on there to adhere to properly so we can blend it in really nicely and smooth it off. So that just needs rubbing down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the ladies, set up the camera for time lapse or hyperlapse as it's called now, and yeah, paint that one in on the hyperlapse, and then we're good to go. Once that's all painted in and grained in, there'll then be a dust of lacquer over the top to protect it a bit better. And then we've got the mastic man coming in tomorrow to seal up around the edges just to make it look even sharper. So all good, and we'll set up the camera and get ready to go. all finished now. We've been mastic up as well, a service we don't provide, by the way, so I'm just waiting for the mastic man to come and finish it. Looks like. I think that looks pretty spot on, pretty banging. Well happy with that. So yeah, follow for more.